Okay, my camera shut off automatically, which is... I suppose this is what I get for not reading the manual. Alright, so let's keep going. Cordial Vampire. 2/4/1/1. Whenever he or another creature dies, put a +1 counter on each vampire. And it doesn't have to be my creature that dies. Oh, that's nice. Vampiric Tutor. I'd like to have the Visions version. The original Visions. Because it fits the theme of the deck. This is the copy that I did have in my collection. And it definitely fits the theme of the deck too. So, it's a fair enough substitute. And he even looks like he belongs. He looks like he belongs. Shaku doesn't quite look like she belongs in the deck. But that boy does. Blade of the Blood Chief. Whenever a creature I control is put into graveyard, whenever a creature is put into graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1 counter on the equipped creature. If it's a vampire, put 2 counters on instead. Well, I've only got the vampires in the deck, so obviously it's going to be a vampire. Some of these that I don't read correctly, well, you can tell I don't get to play EDH much anymore these days. Hopefully that'll change soon. So, Drana's Emissary. She's another one, I just like the art. She's not the best choice for this deck. I mean, 2/2 flyer for 3. Okay, that's not bad. At the beginning of upkeep, each opponent loses 1 and I gain 1 life. So the effect isn't huge, but she just looks cool. She looks cool. She's one of the cheaper vampires that I can get out early, which, if anybody's played EDH and had nothing but big creatures, you know the frustration on not getting your mana ramp out, being stuck with big creatures, no way to really cast them, because you're waiting on getting enough mana, and then finally you do, and it's just, oh look, I play a big dumb creature. Oh, I got pummeled by all these small creatures from these guys who are faster than me. Oh look, I play another big dumb creature. Oh, no, I'm dead. I'm out. Okay. Next. So, Soul Ring. Vampire Nighthawk. 2/3, Death Touch, Lifelink. Cool. Shiny. I like him. Mountain. Wrath of God. So, the reason I have the white border version is because it mirrors the Damnation. So, the Damnation obviously black bordered. Same general picture. Same bad stuff going on. Ball of fire burning everything in its path. Vindicate. The vampire version. This destroy something. Bland, enchantment, plain, we don't care. Just blow it up. Obsidat's Aid. Bring a permanent back that's been destroyed from a graveyard into play. Yeah, there are probably more efficient ways to go about it, but I just like it. Mortify. The vampire version. Destroy a target creature or enchantment. The text is pretty stupid. Many who cross Orange Path come down with a sudden and fatal case of being in the way of a millennial vampire. They really could have done better on that. Sometimes Wizard's flavor text is spot on, sometimes it leaves a bit desired. Mythos of Snapbacks. So the other board wipe. Everybody chooses an artifact, creature, enchantment, and a planeswalker from among the non-land permanents they control, then sacrifices the rest. Of course, if I spend black-red with this, I get to choose what those permanents are. Haven't needed to play this. I was in a game where I drew it, and it just didn't matter. Edgar was working. So, this. Add 1 mana of color my commander's identity. If it's meant to cast a creature spell that shares creature type with my commander, which it will be, scry 1. And I just like that. This is a card that when it comes into play, I just kind of stare at it for a little while. Sanctum Seeker. This guy was a lot cheaper than I expected he to be. He was hard to find, Not a lot of people on Magic Card Market had one for sale for a decent price. Whenever a vampire I control attacks, each opponent loses 1 life and I gain 1 life. So that means every vampire. If I attack with 10 vampires, there's 10 triggers. So life gain, draining, that's the other theme of this deck. Vito, Thorn of the Dusk Rose. Whenever I gain life, target opponent loses that much life. And for 5 creatures, Crow gain lifelink until end of turn. And what's cool is he's one of the cheaper vampires that come out early, and his effect is mid-game. So, good costing. Bloodline Keeper. 3/3 flyer for 4. Tap. Put a 2/2... Oh, where are they? There they are. 2/2 black vampire creature token flying onto the battlefield. And if I have a bunch of vampires, I can transform him. Flying. Other vampire creatures go get +2/+2, and I can still keep making vampire tokens. This is another one that Bad Boy MTG called out as something to watch during the next Innistrad set. Perhaps it'll get reprinted, perhaps not. In any case, I have my copy, so I'm fine. Arid Mesa. This is the only foil time-shifted card I got. As an into the battlefield, choose a creature type. Vampire. Creatures you control of the chosen type. Vampire. Get +1/+1. Whenever I cast a creature spell of the chosen type. Vampire. Draw a card. And it's just cool. I mean, the original version, the art itself is nice. The flag, the destruction behind it, the calm after the battle effect, that's nice. It's just, I love the old frame. I like how they pretty much got the old foiling process right. Swamp. Ashen's Altar. This is done by my friend Ren. So I had this Ashen's Altar 5th edition, and I didn't like the white border. I could have got the Antiquities version. At the time, it wasn't that much. But the white border one was a bit cheaper, and I knew that she could alter it for me, make it look nice, stretch it out. So there we go. Vona, Butcher of Magan. Didn't get him in play in any times I've played Edgar. Either time. Vigilance, lifelink, 4/4 for 5. Tap, pay 7 life, destroy target non-land permanent. Activate this ability only during my turn. Now with the Seedborn Muse, which obviously I can't play in this deck, I'm not sure if I would hurt myself more than the constant destruction be worth. Be erased. Swamp. Plains. Oh, I do have a Dictate of Erebos in the deck. I forgot. Holy crap, okay. So, whenever a creature control dies, you put it. Okay, huh. Maybe I'll take it out. Maybe I replace it with another vampire. I have to see. Vora Stronghold. I've always loved this card. When I was playing around Tempest, non-basic lands have always been a very core interest of mine. I've always loved them. Just something neat about play a land and then I can do something with it. I don't have to spend mana for it. To target creature card from a graveyard top of my library for spending 1 and a black. The main reason this is in here is to stop any kind of exile effect from hitting a creature that I definitely want to have come back out of my graveyard. All my black decks have one. Falkenrath Exterminator. Another vampire that comes out quickly. Whenever deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1, which, to be fair, I'm not really going to send him into battle that often, unless it's just a player that can't stop him, can't block him. But the 2 and a red, he deals damage to target creature equal to the number of +1/+1 counters on him. And in this deck, of course, If everybody else is attacking and Edgar's out and everybody else is getting counters, he'll be getting them too, and then he can just sit back and snipe from the cheap seats. Nirkana Revenant. This is another one that I got just through the art. I had no intentions of making a vampire deck when I got her. I just thought, wow, that is going to be a beautiful foil. So I ordered it, and I was right. It is a beautiful foil. 6/4/4/4. Whenever I tap a swamp for mana, I add an additional black to my mana pool. And I can pump her up by spending black. She gets +1/+1 until end turn. Typical shade effect. And just look at that purple in her cape. That's cool. Here's a new one. This is the latest set card in the deck, Immersturm Predator. 4 for 3/3 flying vampire dragon. Whenever he becomes tapped, exile up to one target card in the graveyard and put a +1/+1 counter on him. Sacrifice another creature, and he becomes indestructible until end turn. Tap him. I played some standard in Arena, and these things are a pain in the ass. So I'm expecting he'll be a pain in somebody else's ass whenever I can play this. Malakir Bloodwitch. Oh my god, this card is so cheap. It's €1, even in foil. I think it's because she was printed in a dual deck set or something. I forget exactly what the extra printing was, but it just hammered her price. But her effect is pretty good. 5 for 4 for flyer, protection from white, which can be very relevant in a game. When she enters the battlefield, each opponent loses life equal to the number of vampires I control, and then I gain life equal to the life lost this way. Bloodstained Mire. Not much to say. Mountain. Even less to say. Anawan, the Ruined Sage. 5 for 4/3. Beginning of my upkeep. Each player sacrifices non-vampire. So I'm not going to be sacrificing anything. Everything's a vampire. You other lads? Sorry. Kill something. Anyone demands it. Rakish Heir. It's basically Kylo Ren with face paint. Actually, that'd be cool. Maybe I could have my friend alter that into Kylo Ren's lightsaber. Just an idea. 3 for 2/2. Whenever a vampire I control deals combat damage to player, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Vampire Hex Mage. Now, it would have been really nice to have the foil time-shifted version of this card, but that's €50. Not going to spend €50 on it. I would have bought the Zendikar foil, but those are going for, I think it was €20. So I got this one. And with all the other foils that I bought for the deck, I had to cut some costs somewhere. Thespian Sage. Thespian Sage. That could have been cool. I have no idea what it would do. 2 tap becomes a copy of target land and gains this ability. This is one of those cards that you play it and you really don't know what's going to happen with it. Obviously, if you have the only other cool land you have are legendary, you're not going to copy those. If nobody else has anything really interesting, you're just kind of, okay, I guess I'll copy a swamp. Sometimes, though, you copy your Cabal Coffers. Or you copy somebody's Maze of Ith, Urborg, something interesting. Who knows? Anyway, this another foil I really like. Helm of Possession. With all the tokens, this helps me use them for other purposes. Same with the altar. You can choose not to untap it, to sacrifice a creature, one of the token creatures, and I'll be getting a lot of them. Gain control of a target creature for as long as I control Helm of Possession, and the Helm of Possession remains tapped. This is one of those cards that nobody likes it on the battlefield. Even if I'm not really doing anything with it, just the fact that it's sitting there, I mean, like, we need to blow that up. And everybody's afraid to play anything big, anything interesting, because I could steal it. Smothering Tithe. Whenever an opponent draws a card, they may pay 2. If they don't, I get a treasure token. With Anointed Procession, of course, I'll get double tokens. And this is one of the better ramp cards in the deck. Because with all the expensive vampires, I need all the ways to generate mana I can get and still have enough effective cards to actually do the damage I need to close out the game. Drana, Liberator of Malakir. So here she is. Flying first strike. Whenever shield deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on each attacking creature I control. So if they all have first strike, as I said with the Stromkirk Captain, they all hit at the same time. They all get +1/+1 counters, but they've already done their damage because they all had first strike. A minor quibble, I know, but just pointing that out. Godless Shrine. Swamp. Sacred Foundry. You notice that I have all three from the original Ravnica. Something I like to do whenever I make a commander deck with more than 2 colors is I like it when the shock lands come from the same set when they've got the same background. Well, not background, same frame. Just a stylistic choice that I make. Angie Falkenrath. To be honest, I'm not sure how good she's going to be in this deck. 2 times I played it, she didn't come up. Haste, discard a card, draw a card. Never discard a card that had madness, I can untap her. I don't have any cards with madness in the deck. Now, she could be good with just filtering, but yeah, it remains to be seen. Anyway, she's one of the vampires that comes out quicker. 3 for 1/3. Not really impressive stats, but the ability could be interesting. Marsh Flats. Necromancer's Covenant. I've always loved this card. Never comes into play. Remove all creature cards and target player's graveyard from the game. Then put a 2/2 black zombie creature token to play for each card removed this way. Zombies I control have lifelink. Now, this kind of goes against Anna 1 the Rune Sage. So, yes, if this comes out, and I forgot it was in the deck. That's on me. I forgot it was in the deck, and so then I would have zombies. I would have things that I would have sacrificed for him. This is more just a mass way to kill a graveyard to go with the Bojuka Bog. If something in Innistrad Midnight Hunt that's coming out is just obviously better for the deck, I'll probably cut this for it. Kalitas, Traitor of Gut. Lifelink. 3/4 for 4. If a non-token creature an opponent controls a die, instead exile it and put a 2/2 black zombie creature token on the battlefield. Sacrifice another vampire zombie, put 2 counters on Kalitas, Traitor of Gut. He didn't come up either in the 2 games. But if he did, with that exile ability, he would have been a must-kill. If I see him on the table across from me, for me, he becomes a must-kill because the way I build my decks, my graveyard is just an extension of my library. It's just a holding tank for what should be coming up soon. So anyway, that's my Edgar Markov deck.